A very good morning, children, and welcome back. As you already know, we are doing Unit 4.4, My Financial Career, and this is the second video today. Just a little recap of what we've already done, children. We were on page number 101, and we spoke about this author, Stephen Leacock. Okay, he's the writer of this lesson, and he says that when he goes to the bank, he gets rattled. Okay, what is rattled? He gets nervous. And we spoke about the clerk rattles him, the wickets rattles him, the sight of money rattles him, everything rattles him, okay? And we spoke about how he gets into the bank and why does he go to the bank? Because he's got a raise in his salary, okay? And he asks for the manager. Now let's see what happens. The manager was a grave, calm man. I held my $56 clutched in a crumpled ball in my pocket. Are you the manager? I said. God knows, I didn't doubt it. Now, you want to know who the manager is, okay? And here you can see the manager was a grave, calm man. What do you mean by grave? A serious looking man, okay? Calm man. And the author here, the narrator, rather, he says that I've got $56, okay? Now, $56 clutched. Clutch means when you hold it, okay, tightly. So, clutched in a crumpled ball. And you can see this note out here. It is all crumpled. It's all crushed, and it's all, there's all crease on it because of the way it is kept, okay? So, he said he had kept all that money crumpled in his pocket. And he then goes to the manager and he says, are you the manager? Just imagine, that's very funny, isn't it? Goes to the manager and asking, are you the manager? So God knows I didn't doubt it. He knows, but still he's nervous, So when he's nervous, he's saying something that he doesn't want to. Yes, he said. Can I see you? I asked. Alone. Here he tells the manager, I'm going to meet you alone. I didn't want to say alone again. But without it, the thing seemed self-evident. So he didn't want to say alone, okay, again. But it was obvious, self-evident meaning it was obvious that he wanted to meet him alone. The manager looked at me in some alarm. He felt that I had an awful secret to reveal. Now when the manager looked at him, he felt alarm means he felt, oh, there is something, really, there's some danger or something, there's a warning that this man wants to give me. So he felt that I had an awful secret. Maybe this man who's come, he wants to share some secret. Come in here, he said, and led the way to a private room. Now, since he said, I want to meet him, the author said, I want to meet you alone, the manager takes him to a private room, okay? He turned the key. He turned the key means he opened the door there. We are safe from interruption here, he said. Sit down. We both sat down and looked at one another. I found no voice to speak. So the manager takes him to a private room and he says there's no interruption. You know what is interruption? There's no disturbance here. You can just speak, sit down and made him feel relaxed. And while they're sitting there, they're looking at one another. And I found no voice to speak. The author saying he couldn't speak. He was so nervous. You are one of Pilkington's men, I presume, he said. So now the manager spoke and said, you're one of Pilkington's men? Okay. Now, Pilkington's children is actually a private detective agency, okay, based in the USA. That is from 1950s. So it's a private agency, okay, detective agency. So he thought maybe he's come, he's a detective, okay. And he said, I presume. What do you mean? I presume means I take it for granted, he said. Now you can see here, there's a pic of the Pilkington's National Detective, agency. We never sleep. So this is an agency. They are detectives. Okay. So he thought maybe this fellow is a detective. He wants to share something very secretive. He had gathered from my mysterious manner that I was a detective. I knew what he was thinking and it made me worse. He's saying, oh God, now this manager thinks that I am the detective. No, not from Pilkington's, I said. seemingly to imply that I came from a rival agency. So he said, no, I am not from Picklington's, okay? Seemingly meaning maybe, perhaps, to imply that I came from a rival agency. Rival means a competitor, okay? So, he said, no, I am not from Picklington's. To tell the truth, I went on as if I had been prompted to lie about it. Now, your prompted means been encouraged, okay? So, he went on to tell him that I am not a detective at all. I have come to open an account. I intend to keep all my money in this bank. So, I intend meaning to plan. So, the author is trying to make the manager understand that I am not a detective. I have just come to open an account, okay, and to keep my money. I plan. I intend to keep all the money in the bank. The manager looked relieved, he said. Relieved means he became a little relaxed, okay? He said, oh, fine. But still serious. He concluded now that I am a son of Baron Rothschild or a young Bond. Now, the manager still, he was still serious. He said, oh, this man must be a son of Baron Rothschild. Now, let me tell you children, Baron Rothschild, you can see the picture here. They are a prominent banking family, okay? And he was a British, this man, Baron Rothschild, he was a British banker and a politician, okay? So when you're talking about Rothschild, we're talking about a family which was very well known as a banking family. So he thought maybe he's a son of Baron, Rothschild or a young Gaunt. Gaunt meaning we're talking about one of the richest men of that time. Okay, you can see the picture of this man here. He was one of the richest men. So he thought maybe, this man belongs to one of these families. So he said, a large amount, I suppose, he said. He said, okay, you have come to deposit money. And he says, I have come to deposit, the author saying, a large account. Okay, a lot of money. Fairly large, I whispered. So here, the manager is asking him, a large amount? Okay, you've come to deposit. He's saying, yeah, fairly large. I whispered. He's so frightened that he's whispering to him, okay? I propose to deposit $56 now and $50 a month regularly. He's saying that right now I want to deposit $56. The manager got up and opened the door. He called to the accountant. He said, okay, so since this man, the author wanted to deposit the money, he calls for the accountant. Mr. Montgomery, he said, unkindly loud, this gentleman is opening an account. He will deposit $56. Good morning. Okay, so he calls out, the manager calls for the accountant, by the name of Mr. Montgomery, and he says that this gentleman is opening an account. Okay, so just help him out. I rose. I rose means I got up from my seat. A big iron door stood open at the side of the room. So you can see here, good morning, I said, and stepped into the safe. Now, this is the safe, okay, the place where they deposit the money. Come out, said the manager coldly, and showed me the other way. I went up to the accountant's wicket and poked the ball of money at him with a quick, convulsive movement as if I was doing a conjuring trick. Now, the author, when he had come to deposit the money, he's just, he's so nervous, right? And now he has already told the manager that he wants to deposit the money. The manager has told, okay, now called in for the accountant, okay, and tells the accountant, please guide him. So come out, the manager said, coldly, okay. So here, coldly means in an unfriendly manner. And he showed him the other way. And the author goes to the accountant's wicket and he poked the ball of money at him with a quick convulsive movement. Convulsive movement means we're talking about affected by involuntary jerky kind of movement. No? He just puts that money to him. He just wants to, like as if he wants to just get rid of it. Okay. And as if I was doing a conjuring trick. Conjuring trick meaning a magic trick. My face was ghastly pale. Now, ghastly meaning alarming. And pale means, when you're frightened, how, if your face looks white, like. So he was very pale. Yeah, I said, deposit it. The tone of the voice seemed to mean, let us do this painful thing while the fit is on us. Now here, the author is trying to say he just wanted to get rid of that money, okay? So he just gives it to the accountant. He took the money and gave it to another clerk. He made me write the sum on a slip and sign my name in a book. I no longer knew what I was doing. The bank swam before my eyes. Now the author gives the money is taken and given to another clerk, and he is made to write, this, the sum of it, the total of it on a slip and sign the book. Now, the author is saying the bank swam before my eyes. Now, what does that mean? He was feeling giddy, okay? He was so nervous that he felt giddy. Is it deposited? I asked in a hollow, vibrating voice. So then he asked the accountant, is it deposited? Is it all over now? Is it deposited? Okay, in a hollow voice meaning empty, meaningless voice. It is, said the accountant. The accountant said, yes, it is, sir. Then I want to draw a check. So after the money gets deposited, he asked the accountant that I want to draw a check. So let's see now in the next, video what happens to the author. Why does he want to draw the check? What happens when he draws the check? Okay, so we'll see that in the next video. Let's look into some meanings. We have clutched is hold something tightly. Crumpled is crushed to form creases and wrinkles. Self-evident is obvious. Presumed to take for granted. Prompted, encourage, intend to plan. Baron Rothschild is the wealthiest, most influential man of the time. And gold is one of the richest men of that time. So children, this is what the lesson is about so far. I request you to kindly learn the meanings, just write it down in your notebook, and please attempt the assignment. I know some of you are still not doing your assignment. Okay children, I request you, please do your assignment, because that gives me an idea whether you understood the video or not. Okay, thank you once again for giving me a listening ear, and God bless.